Welcome to Security Source, your go-to channel for mastering cybersecurity concepts and exploitation techniques. In today's video, we're diving into the world of public exploits. We'll explore where to find them, how to use them effectively, and the dangers of sourcing exploits from untrusted places. This video is for purely informational purposes only, and viewers are expected to utilize this information at their own risk. Let's get started. Publicly available exploits are pieces of code or scripts that are shared broadly with the public and take advantage of vulnerabilities in software, hardware, or networks. These exploits are often shared by security researchers and ethical hackers to help improve security by demonstrating vulnerabilities that need to be mitigated. However, they can also be misused by malicious actors, making it crucial to understand how to find and use them responsibly. Before we dive into where to find these exploits, it's important to discuss the dangers of using exploits from untrusted sources. Downloading and running exploits from unknown or unverified websites can lead to severe consequences, including 1. Malware infection. Untrusted exploits may contain malware that can compromise your system or network. 2. Legal issues. Using exploits against a system without proper authorization can lead to legal and criminal consequences. 3. Unreliable. Code. Unverified exploits may be poorly written or outdated, causing more harm than good. Always verify the source and integrity of the exploit code before using it. Now let's look at some trusted tools and resources where you can find public exploits. ExploitDB is one of the most comprehensive databases of public exploits and vulnerable software. It's maintained by Offensive Security, the same team behind Kali Linux. Metasploit is a powerful tool for developing and executing exploits. It comes with a vast library of publicly available exploits, making it a go-to resource for penetration testers. The National Vulnerability Database is a repository of standardized information on security vulnerabilities. While it doesn't provide exploits directly, it's a great resource for finding detailed vulnerability information. GitHub is a goldmine for security researchers. Many exploits are published as open source projects. Use advanced search filters to find the exploits you need. Forums like Stack Exchange and mailing lists like Full Disclosure are excellent places to find and discuss exploits with the security community. Using exploits responsibly is crucial for maintaining ethical standards in cybersecurity. Here are some guidelines. Always ensure you have explicit permission to test a system. If you discover a new vulnerability, follow responsible disclosure practices to inform the affected parties. Keep detailed records of your testing process and findings. Use exploits as a learning tool to improve your skills and knowledge in a controlled environment. When modifying a publicly available exploit for use against a target machine, there are several important considerations to keep in mind. Ensure that the exploit is compatible with the specific operating system and version of the target system. Verify whether the target system is 32-bit or 64-bit and adjust the exploit accordingly. Ensure that the exploit targets the correct version of the vulnerable service or software running on the target machine. Test the modified exploit in a controlled environment to ensure it doesn't crash the service or system, especially if the target system is critical. Implement or improve error handling within the exploit to avoid unintended consequences. Choose a payload that matches the objectives of the penetration test, such as a reverse shell. Modify the payload to avoid detection by antivirus or endpoint protection systems. Ensure the payload fits within any size limitations imposed by the exploit and is complex enough to evade simple signature-based detection. Obfuscate the exploit code to avoid signature-based detection by intrusion detection systems or intrusion prevention systems. Use techniques like encoding or encryption to disguise exploit traffic and payload delivery. Implement timing controls to avoid triggering rate-limiting or anomaly-based detection mechanisms. Determine if the exploit requires user interaction and modify it to fit the context of the target environment. Decide if the exploit should establish persistence on the target system and modify it to do so if needed. Include mechanisms to clean up or remove traces of the exploit after execution to avoid detection during post-exploitation analysis. Ensure the modifications and use of the exploit fall within the agreed-upon scope of the penetration test. Modify the exploit to minimize any potential damage to the target system, especially in a production environment. Keep detailed records of modifications and testing processes for reporting and analysis purposes. Test the modified exploit in a controlled lab environment that closely mimics the target system. Before deploying it in the field, observe the exploit's behavior in the lab to understand how it might affect the target system in the real world. Have a contingency plan in case the exploit fails or causes unintended issues on the target system. Ensure that the target system has backups to recover from potential failures caused by the exploit. By carefully considering these factors, you can effectively modify and deploy an exploit in a penetration test while minimizing risks and maximizing the chances of success. And that's a wrap on finding and using publicly available exploits. Remember, the key is to use these powerful tools responsibly and ethically. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Also, leave a comment below with any other tools or topics you'd like us to cover. Thanks for watching Security Source, and stay secure. Remember, knowledge is power. Stay informed, stay secure. See you in the next video.